We have also a proud slogan, "My bloodline ends with me." And I can say that because I don't have any brothers or sisters, so my bloodline does end with me. And I think this is a very responsible choice.
For most people, having babies is the most natural thing in the world. But according to anti-natalists like Dr. Verena Brunschweiger, there are 8 billion reasons we should stop. The German feminist and child-free activist is on a mission to convince women to stop having children. She says it's bad for the environment, bad for their health, and makes them slaves to the patriarchy. Elon Musk recently said Australians are becoming an endangered species as our birth rate hits a record low. But Verena says right-wing pro-natalists only care about one thing:
Everyone, especially right-wing politicians like Trump, Vance, etc., want women to have more and more white babies. And this is a dangerous development which I'd really like to fight.
According to Musk, falling birth rates pose a threat to humanity. If people stop having children, society will collapse. Verena doesn't see it that way.
I may say I detest him deeply, because this man alone destroys so much. He ruins almost everything I stand for and good progressive people fight for on a daily basis. We are so many billion people. How can one say we are going to go extinct? I can't believe this. And if he fires 7,000 people on one day, of course he needs as many new work slaves as possible. And so for him, of course, it's important to have many new people. And he doesn't like people who are not white anyway, as everyone knows. So it makes sense to encourage white women to breed. And he uses women as incubators. He has 14 or 20 or whatever. I lose track. Way too many kids.
Verena says she often receives backlash and criticism for her views.
It's part of the general backlash you receive if you are in the public eye as a feminist, especially as an advocate for the child-free lifestyle. But what always amazes me negatively is that millions applaud people who say, women are only good as incubators, sex objects, and that's about it. And if they are 40 or older, please bury yourselves. And I receive this as well, of course. People write to me and say, oh, please stop.
Verena says white people have a moral duty to stop having babies and let in more refugees.
Yeah, of course, my focus, and that's what drives the AfD nuts, is we have to cut back on our numbers. I admit that, because we produce so much, and everyone knows the iPad formula. Impact always consists of population, affluence, technology. And if we emit like crazy and use resources way more than we have, so yes, it's preferably for white.
More Australians are choosing not to have children. Verena says that's a good thing.
Yeah, of course. It shows that women are really concerned about female empowerment, certainly is a main aspect, or also concerned about the environment. It always breaks my heart if I read about your wildfires and dying polar bears, etc. There are environmental reasons that alone would be enough also for me, so I can completely get if Australian progressive families say, no, one child, for instance, is completely enough, or also none.
Verena rejects critics who claim antinatalism is selfish.
I always say it's rather selfish to have kids because they are like mini-me's. This is almost some kind of narcissistic approach. I want to have a new person to have my beautiful blue eyes. How wouldn't that be nice? So that's completely selfish. And put those kids in such a world which is already dying, burning, etc. That's pretty selfish, way more selfish than being considerate and not having kids. We have also a proud slogan, "My bloodline ends with me." And I can say that because I don't have any brothers or sisters, so my bloodline does end with me. And I think this is a very responsible choice because I don't put another burden on an already overstrained planet.
There were 292,318 babies born in Australia in 2024, with the total fertility rate hitting a new record low of 1.48 births per woman. Since 1976, Australia has been below the replacement rate of 2.1, meaning more babies are born than people dying. The Centre for Population expects the birth rate to fall further before gradually returning to around 1.6 over the long term. In other words, it looks like we'll keep dying off for now.